India will be hosting the Artificial Intelligence Impact Summit next week in New Delhi. There will be heads of states coming, and in fact, there will be representation from more than 75 countries. And joining us exclusively right now to talk about that and a lot more is Jyoti Jeetun, who is the Minister for Economic Planning and Financial Services of Mauritius. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. We had the two Prime Ministers speaking just a few days ago. How would you describe the relationship right now between India and Mauritius, especially when it comes to the close friendship between the Prime Ministers and also your Prime Minister being a part of the AI Impact Summit?
Aditya, thank you. It's always a pleasure to be with you again in India. Well, as you know, and I said it's the last time, India and Mauritius have had this centuries-old brotherhood and blood and cultural and all the relationship that you can, very deep-rooted. And now this is going on another level of, economic partnership and commercial relationship. Of course, the bond that is between India and Mauritius and between Prime Minister Modi and our Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam is also very strong and very special. And as you might know, our Prime Minister Modi and our Prime Minister spoke last week, and our Prime Minister is coming with a delegation to the AI Summit next week. I mean, it reinforces, first of all, the very, very special relationship that we have, and we cannot stop emphasizing that. But it also speaks about India leading the global south. India is already very strong USP in terms of technology. You just have to look at all the global, tech companies CEOs and the export that India has been doing over the last few decades in technology and IT services, and it's almost naturally will lead, in the AI space. And I think Mauritius would be very, very privileged to be part of this exciting new journey happening, especially given, India on our east and Africa on our west, but we'll talk about that in a moment.
Wonderful. India has this policy of neighborhood first, and Mauritius is a very close and important and strategic part of that entire exercise. But let's also speak about tourism, because there's a big push towards tourism, and Indians enjoy, going to Mauritius. How big is the tourism industry now, and how keen are Indians going to, Mauritius? What are you looking at the figures like, and what would be your message to Indians who are keen to visit Mauritius now?
So Mauritius, as you know, is a very small island, and we are very protective of our coastal regions. And for example, our hotels are not high rises. They are their own USPs, their own specificities, and most of our resorts are on the beach in very natural setting, and we really want to protect that sort of identity, because that is what pulls a lot of people, come from all over the world, travel 12, 15 hours or 20 hours flights to come to Mauritius. Really very, first of all is the air. The air is very clean, the blue skies, the beaches, the climate, the green, the natural. Lots of very, strong USPs in our tourism sector. And I must say that our tourism sector is doing extremely well at the moment. It's one of the sectors that are booming. Tourism numbers are rising. Revenue from tourism sector is rising as well. And hopefully we will get more and more our friends from India visiting us to Mauritius.
Well, there have been a lot of economic disruptions in the last 1 year, especially the global tariffs policy that has come in. And you look at the economic policy and the financial services as well. So your comments are very important. Recently, in the last 1 month, we've seen two very significant deals that India has done. One is the India-EU mother of all deals that has been spoken about. And very recently, the intention of an interim agreement between India and United States that came after very hectic parleys. A lot of twists and turns in the last 1 year, 50% tariffs on India that have been now reduced to 18%. How do you look at the global economic situation right now, especially when it comes to doing trade with India and the opportunities that lie with India and the huge economic boost or the manufacturing capacity that India has right now?
As you say, Aditya, it has been a very, last year and this year have been extremely disruptive on the global level in terms of, the rule-based system that we have known is start of, being very strongly challenged. And countries like India, Mauritius, we have to reinvent ourselves very quickly and see how to adapt and stay strong in this environment. And we have to congratulate India, as you say, you guys have signed the mother of deals and the father of deals with the EU and with the United States. And Mauritius has, let's say, one is first of all congratulating India on reaching those deals and staying very strong and keeping that very leadership role in this very sort of changing dynamics in the world. And us from the global south, we feel strongly about it that India has reached that deal. How can Mauritius adapt to that deal? First of all is, you see, another story that is unfolding on our west is Africa. 15 out of the 25, India had a very strong growth. It's a very rapidly growing country. And it had a very strong growth rate last year. But 15 out of 25 countries in the world which had strong growth last year were in Africa. And Mauritius, for example, in July this year, is hosting the US-Africa Business Summit, which is a very important summit bringing US businesses to be investing in Africa. And I think India as well, as India is getting more, richer, you're looking for expanding business abroad. And Mauritius is part of Africa. We are part of the African Union, part of SADC, part of COMESA. And so Mauritius can effectively give that India that security, that safety, and that sort of cooperation that you can have to step up into doing business with Africa, which has huge potential. As I said, 15 out of the 25 fastest growing economies were in Africa last year.
Well, since we are talking about investments, Minister, I have to ask you a very technical question about Tiger Global, which has ramifications and perhaps concerns for Mauritius as well. Now, on 15th of January, we had India's top court, the Supreme Court, say that the US investment firm Tiger Global must pay tax in India and on the sale of the stake in the e-commerce giant Flipkart to Walmart in 2018. Now, Tiger Global case has dated back to 2018, and when US retail giant Walmart bought Flipkart, and we know that Tiger Global has invested through 3 Mauritius-based entities and sold 17% stake for about 1.6 billion. Where does the Mauritius government stand on this entire issue, and what would you like to convey to the Indian government perhaps if there is any kind of a policy change on this?
First of all, it would not be appropriate for me to comment on the judgment. We take note of what has happened, but I wouldn't comment. What I can say is that Mauritius is a jurisdiction of substance, of strong repute, and we have been working on that for a number of years now in terms of bringing more economic substance and not be just a shell-based company's jurisdiction. We have gone that path long time ago. Today we are recognized as being a strong, well-regulated jurisdiction. A number of changes have been brought for a number of years now, and we are really looking into growing more substance, more value added, bringing more compliance. We are already compliant, to all 40 FATF recommendations. We are working strongly with the enforcement agencies and the regulatory agencies to ensure that we have a strong financial center of integrity, of security. Obviously, things like this judgment sometimes can unsettle the markets and the investors. I will not tell you on camera what we are doing in terms of with discussions with government. But obviously, markets look for stability, look for transparency, look for rule-based governance. And I am very confident that we have that, and that we should not be worried about, such instances happening again. I am very confident that Mauritius has the economic substance, that it provides stability, and it provides, a strong regulated reputation for Indian investors or any investors globally for that matter.
Finally, Minister, you spoke about the Global South-South, partnership and the focus on the Global South over the last few years, and India playing a very significant role in that. There's been maritime cooperation also between India and Mauritius. During this visit, this comes probably just 6 months or so after your previous visit. What are the top priorities that you're looking forward to now and perhaps in future to bring India and Mauritius more closer?
So first of all, as you know, we'll start with the basics. It's the 30 years relationship that we've had with regards to financial services. For 3 decades, Mauritius has been a very strong partner bringing FDI to India. And we hope, and we are working very strongly as India grows, as India's economy grows, that we are still part of that very exciting story. Secondly, as I said earlier, is investments going into Africa. As India invest externally, we can provide that very strong bridge and gateway into Africa, us being an African country. Thirdly, as you know, we are a very small, tiny nation, but we are a large ocean state. We have over 2 million kilometers of exclusive economic zone. So that's, lots of opportunities for blue economy, which we hope we can, develop with India. The other thing that we are starting to develop is life sciences, pharmaceuticals, research, and we hope in that area as well that we can collaborate with Indian counterparts. And maybe finally on fintech, we already are working with Indian companies which have relocated to Mauritius and which are servicing the African market already, but we hope that we can grow that market.
Well, Minister Jeetun, it's always a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you very much for joining NDTV.
Thank you.
That was Jyoti Jeetun, the Minister for Economic Planning and Financial Services, speaking exclusively to NDTV about the opportunities that lie ahead between India and Mauritius, but also looking forward to the attendance of Prime Minister Ramgoolam from Mauritius in the AI summit that begins next week, in which more than 24 heads of states will be in attendance along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Reporting from Delhi, this is Aditya Kaul for NDTV.